Literally feels like summer. What's up, guys? Heading to a little mini meetup in Santa Monica at Bulletproof Cafe. A couple people in town, so it should be a pretty cool little meetup. 10x. That was an awkward pause. What up, man?
What up?
How's it going?
Good. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
What's up?
It's Jessica.
This is Jessica.
What's up, dude?
Hey. Matt. Nice to. Oh yeah, nice to meet you. Camera guy. Hey. Dude, what's up?
What's up, man?
How's it going, man?
Oh, is that the new lens?
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, Paul?
Oh my god, that is pretty badass. No, not my face. I didn't shave.
Dude, that's insane.
It's whatever. So, Santa Barbara, but the mudslides in Montecito, I had to go all the way around.
I think one thing that gives it potential of still popping is that like there still is such barrier to entry to even purchase or to transfer. Like I think it kind of comes second nature to us. Like I mean you're more technical than I am, but at least I like have some grasp of it. But like dude, when I like tell my friends about crypto or something, like if they have like no background whatsoever, like they don't get it, you know? Like so like there's still such room for just like full mainstream adoption. Like I think that there are millions of people right now that would invest if they just even knew how, or like literally even understood the concept of like how to move it from wallet to wallet.
Me too. We should do like a
Or Tron, hashtag 2020 Dogecoin, new Ethereum.
Keep that in the vlog, Francis.
Ah, you're recording.
Look at this crew.
And then on arbitrage, I think I've got like 300. Let me show you what.
Hella people turned out.
Did you see Venice yet? Awesome. What do you think? It's weird, right? Yeah? All right, let's go that way.
Yeah.
So that was really beneficial to me as well. So
I'm glad to hear it, dude.
yeah.
Yeah.
I've got an account and I'm like, I really don't know what to
Yeah.
expect, so.
I mean, that's my biggest advice in that category. Like, I need to put something in the course, but my biggest advice is like, you need to talk to someone.
Well, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
I know they're just trying to make money, but
Right.
That's
see,
like the safe answer, right?
See, TaxJar and Avalar. I use Avalar. I used to use TaxJar, but they're making money on every filing in every state. Personally, I think it's like it's such an undefined area at this point. Like, if stuff starts happening, maybe I'll change. But like, I'm not too worried about it right now. But yeah, oh yeah, because that's where I for sure have a business. But it's like I don't you know, Amazon doesn't even straight up tell you where they're putting your inventory. I mean, yeah. And like, look at what just happened with Washington. They're just gonna start collecting sales tax in Washington. So it's not our problem. And I could see that happening in every state. You know, it's just going to be such a disaster to go get every seller in the world to like go independently register in every state. I just don't think that's like the most elegant solution to the problem. Yeah. What's happening?
Yeah, totally.
hey. Talking here, trying to hey, what's up?
Super cool with the GT4 is it has like the auto rev match. It's like golden. It's literally unbelievable.
I thought we were gonna follow him.
And I'm sitting here like
We're set up in the back. To feel either way. Ooh.
The Winter Olympics.
Thanks, bro. I appreciate it. Thank you. This is 11 people. Swung it from the boys. What's your name again?
That was the dude?
Did you have to watch now, bro, so you get the memes?
Yeah, no, I don't know it. This is what I was picturing. Yeah, this is perfect.
So
That was so good.
You're still in school.
Yeah.
My question was like, at what point did you know that this was like a real thing?
Yeah.
Were you doing like 10, 20, 50 grand per month in your business?
So I graduated 2015, so I think like it was really just like that last basically couple quarters at UCLA that was when it was like the big overlap. 2015 was my first like full big solid year of Amazon. I did like $250,000 in sales that year, so it was like solid, but I wouldn't say like I was making a ton of money like in say 2014 yet. I mean, that was when I was just kind of dabbling, but I didn't go cold turkey on everything I was doing before and just like jump into Amazon and try to figure it out.
Right.
I like, you know, I had been flipping phones for years, and then I started flipping vintage watches, and I was still flipping vintage watches as I was getting more serious about Amazon, and I was going to school. And then I finished school, and I was probably still flipping some watches, but doing less watches, more Amazon, until it was eventually just full Amazon, you know. But I didn't just like cut the other thing, and so I already knew it was gonna work before it worked, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because I was doing other things that just like with raw hustle led to cash to support me and to allow me to give it a shot at the more scalable Amazon thing. And so it eventually sort of just school went away, and then, you know, shifted to Amazon.
What did your friends think at the time? Your college friends
And your parents?
Truthfully, and this is interesting, is that like when I went to community college in Northern California, where I'm from originally, in Napa. And when I transferred to UCLA, I mean, I was so already all in on the business stuff, I didn't make any friends at UCLA.
Oh, wow.
I didn't talk to anybody at UCLA.
Wow.
Like, there is nobody out there watching this that is like, oh yeah, I remember Matt from UCLA. Like, I mean, go ask UCLA if I even went there, and they'll be like, I don't know. Like, I was so checked out.
Wow.
And that, like I said, I haven't opened my diploma.
I can imagine you like running your Amazon business in the back of class, and like, hey, pay attention. The science stuff is really important, dude.
Yeah, I would always joke like the people behind me must have thought I was insane, because I'd be like refreshing my product, and they're like, why? What is this dude doing? Looking at he's looking at that same thing every freaking day. Like, just buy it already.
Just buy it.
You know, like, so I mean, yeah, that's the truth. It's like nobody from UCLA thinks anything of it, because I don't know anybody from UCLA. I'm dead serious, like 100% serious.
So you really had the hermit mindset. Like,
I did, yeah. I mean, like I've said, the YouTube channel has like, you know, got me out into this world more, but I was just like head down doing it for several years, and like I didn't talk to many people about it. I didn't go to meetups. I didn't go to any events. You know, I was just doing my thing, not knowing what day of the week it was.
Is that a trait that you picked up early on? Like, were you always really self-reliant as a kid? Like, before
Wow, it's getting deep. It's getting deep.
Well, it's good content, right?
Yeah. No, it's a great question. I just hope I can give like a good enough answer.
Yeah.
So like, was I always self-reliant? I mean,
it takes a special kind of person to like cut themselves off from their friends, move to a different city, and not talk to anyone or not make any friends. Not go to parties.
I guess
and drink
one thing I should add is like, Jessica, we moved down together, so it's like I didn't like literally have nobody.
Right.
Like, so we were just kind of in our world, like building our stuff, you know, and I was just like happy with that. I'm still happy with that right now, you know, like I'm pretty reclusive still now, I would say.
Yeah.
I do stuff like this, but like, you know, I'm very happy just like doing our thing and like working on my stuff, and you know, so I guess I've probably always been like that to some extent. Like we were talking earlier about like the extrovert introvert thing. Definitely, I'm definitely on the introvert side for sure, like no doubt. And so yeah, I mean, I've always been happy doing my own thing. I mean, if you mean in sort of like terms like confidence and ability to do it yourself, like believing in it.
Yeah.
I mean, I made the video about confidence. That's honestly my belief of it, is that like the confidence comes from some amount of results, you know? Like, so I don't think I was confident, but it's different than confident. Is like, I definitely believed it was possible. Like, you know, I'm listening to podcasts, all that. Like, you hear these stories, so you know it's possible. So I had that belief like 1,000%, and still do, obviously. But like, I don't think I was confident in myself until like I had proven it to myself on some level.
But you knew like eventually like you would make it happen for yourself.
I mean, I hope so. Basically, I had a lot of anxiety around the time of graduating at UCLA.
Yeah.
Because now I was like seriously on the line to make it work. Like, you know, when you're messing around with it on the side of school, you're like, okay, this is cool. But then like, you know, I graduated and I'm like, now it really has to work, like, or else.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I mean, I definitely had a ton of stress at that time, because it was do or die, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah.
What advice would you give to anyone who's watching that like is feeling like their friends and family don't support them and they don't understand? Like the people in their circle, they just don't get it. They don't get our mindset.
Yeah, I mean it's so true, but nobody gets this stuff. Like it's so easy to feel like in our world of like YouTube and podcasts and watching Gary Vee and meeting up with these guys, you feel like everybody gets it, but like nobody gets it. Like I could go walk up to like anybody anywhere here, and like they would think what I do is they'd be like, what are you talking about? Like what's FBA? Like cryptocurrency? Like I mean nobody has any clue, and they don't, and everyone's just like living in their little box, like trying to like just live a super average life. And what was the question? No, but like
the question is, how do you deal?
How do you deal?
If you're a young guy and let's say you're not super confident that everything's going to work out for you, you're filled with self-doubt, and your friends and family don't understand or support you. Because I know when I started entrepreneurship,
I don't know that camera yet. Yeah,
I know because he's so close, you don't think that you're in frame. When I started entrepreneurship, like, and I told my family that I started a business, I'll never forget that moment, like how like stale the table was. I'm starting a business. Like I thought everyone was gonna be like, yeah, it's him, go start that business. Right. And it was like a really disheartening moment. And I just realized that I can never report back to them until it's like, hey, I made $1 million this year.
Yeah.
And then they understand.
Yeah, I mean, I think I still feel that to some extent. First off, like as far as like friends and stuff, I would just say my advice there is just stop giving a fuck about them. But like as far as like your family and your friends, like I guess for me, like my mom has been supportive of it. My dad, not necessarily entrepreneurial, but like self-employed. Like he was like he's been like a self-employed sales rep basically for a long time. So I definitely got some entrepreneurial tendencies from him because like he could take a day off if he wanted. Like he was still working for a company, but he wasn't like going into the office. Like he was on his own, driving around the Bay Area, like going to these car dealerships and stuff like that. And so I got some of that from him. So so I mean I think that luckily made them understand a little bit more. I think my dad has way more like he's way more risk averse than I am. So I mean he would just be like, oh, like you're wiring $5,000. Like I mean he would just think like you're gonna get burned, you're gonna lose your shit. That was basically his advice to me, was like you're gonna lose your shit. Like maybe not this time, but the next time you're gonna lose your shit. And I'm just like, look, I'm gonna take that risk because like look, if I lose 10 grand one time, but it allows me the ability to grow this, like it's worth that. So he has way more, I mean I think it's kind of like abundance mindset versus scarcity mindset. Even though he's done well at times and has that sort of self-employed motivation, like he's never like taken that major sort of risk, but I still think that allows him to understand it. And then my mom is just supportive in general of it.
Do they watch this?
No, they don't. I don't really talk about this very much. I feel like that, I don't know.
What's the threshold that you have to reach for them to like start paying attention to your channel and stuff?
I mean, I just don't talk. I mean, this would be weird, but I feel like maybe it'd make me a little less comfortable with it if
you knew that they were watching your stuff.
Exactly. So so I don't talk too much about this. Not because there's anything I don't want them to see, but just because like then it's like they're gonna ask me about it a lot, and I don't know, like like with starting something like YouTube or getting serious about Instagram or whatever, like I felt way more odd about like my family and friends watching it than random people that I hadn't met yet. I'm totally cool with random strangers. Like that was no problem. But yeah, I still think that makes me uncomfortable on some level even now. But yeah, I mean, I still think that on some level I haven't like quite proven it to like my dad, for example, because he's kind of a little negative, and like so I still think like at some level I can really like prove it, like freaking I don't know what it would really take for that to be the case, but like I think he's pretty impressed as of now. But yeah, I mean I'm sure there's still like a level of him just being like, oh, okay, now I see what you're doing.
Like when the time that you'll have lunch with them and someone will come up and be like, hey, are you Matt Loberstein?
Yeah, then it'll be like,
then it'll be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that'll be a holy shit moment for sure.
Yeah. So how would you what advice would you give for someone who's like looking to build their tribe? They want to surround themselves with more like-minded people.
Yeah, I mean, I think what we're doing right here is amazing. Like I said, I mean, I haven't been implementing that until now.
Yeah.
You know, so I can't call myself an expert in that. I think what we have here is incredible. I think like our little community is really helping to facilitate that for not just myself, but like, you know, for you, for example, or for a lot of us. You know, we're all meeting up, and we have a Facebook group. And the YouTube comments.
Yeah.
And like, you know.
Speaking of which, shameless plug Monday, Amazon Sellers Meetup. Go to meetup.com, search Amazon Sellers Los Angeles, join our group, and come to our event. Come to our next event next month. You probably won't see this until...
This is probably going to be up after that.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, like what I always say is just get into the Facebook group, because there's going to be mentions of any group, or any meetup in the group. So just I'm always terrible about announcing it on YouTube, because like they just come up and I'm disorganized. So get in the Facebook group. That's where you'll see that.
Yeah.
Cool, man. That was awesome.
Yeah, that's great.
Content.
Well, that was super cool.
Heck yeah.
That was awesome.
Michael and Brad.
All right, so wow, that was an incredible turnout for just a super casual one that was kind of thrown together at the last minute, not a huge planned one. The planned one is Monday. Probably this is going live after that, but there's going to be a lot of meetups coming up, so just get in the Facebook group if you want to follow all the meetups. But yeah, what an incredible turnout. I'm just continuously blown away that so many of you are not only supporting me on YouTube, but will even come out in person. Like, it's just mind-blowing, really. Like, so yeah, I mean, it was incredibly, it was just awesome. I loved it, loved meeting those of you that I hadn't met before. I'll drop a couple of the YouTube links to the channels of you guys that were there. And yeah, make sure you hit the like button. It really makes a big difference. So I would very much appreciate if you do that whenever you are enjoying my videos. And yeah, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.
China?
But I want to go to like
that can like spec out your products and like
really nice.
they'll do custom moldings.